This episode of the Lonely Island Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Maker's Mark. We are celebrating Women's History Month by recognizing the spirited women in our lives and remembering Maker's Mark co-founder Margie Samuels. You too can celebrate the spirited women in your life with a free personalized label to go with a bottle of Maker's Mark. Head to makersmarkpersonalize.com and fill in the details in order to create and mail your custom label. Maker's Mark makes their bourbon carefully. Please enjoy it that way. Maker's Mark, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 45% alcohol per volume. Copyright 2025, Maker's Mark Distillery, Incorporated, Loretto, Kentucky.
Hey guys, can I just start by saying I held our listeners in higher regard than they have revealed themselves to be.
Ooh.
I thought we had sort of a elevated listenership, people whose minds were not in the gutter. And yet multiple people commented because I talked about how Chris Martin gave me his throat spray when I lost my throat. And maybe I worded it in a way that was a little eggy.
Oh, how'd you word it?
I said I was just pumping the Chris Martin juice into my throat.
Oh, now I see.
And the amount of people that took to the comments to say not only, I can't believe that's how he said it, and I can't believe everybody just let it pass.
But you were saying it to be kind of flowery and funny in the wording, but not necessarily just straight up that he's jizzing down your throat.
Well,
and
who would ever say that?
And I gave you grace.
Thank you.
And you deserve it, and you've earned it on this podcast especially.
I guess I thought I deserved a little bit more grace from our listeners.
Why is Andy squinting at his screen so hard? He's just squinting at the computer screen like it was like, what the heck is happening here?
I was just, doing research for this episode of the pod. I will say, Seth, I didn't blink at it because I assumed you just meant that Chris Martin jizzed in your throat.
Right.
Down your throat. Into and down your throat. With his
and you always refer to them as your juices. So I got that it was his juices.
Yeah.
I mean, reading it back, it is kind of, I wish I had written it.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the combination of doubt. I mean, you look at it now and it's a very short line, but to have pumping, juice, and throat all in one, it was kind of asking for it.
Wait, can I ask, did he tell you what was in the spray?
No, he just kept saying it's high in protein.
Right.
You teed him up, Keith. You teed him up.
The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast show.
And I apologize to Mr. Martin, who is nothing but an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, he's your cool jacket inspiration. He got you through update.
Yeah. By the way, this is the episode. Ras Trent is
the epaulette episode.
It's cool jacket.
It is the episode.
The epaulettisode.
The epaulettisode.
The epaulettisode. Let's go with the epaulettisode. The epaulettisode.
This is it. Amy does not make it to this show. In the Josh Brolin show, which was the week before, she does her very pregnant hardcore rap as Sarah Palin, one of the great moments for my money of SNL history. Andy, you're in it.
I helped Amy write one line of that rap, and it was the least funny line in the whole thing.
That's very nice of you to admit.
I tried to make it like a good rhyme, but it was not a good laugh, and then I felt guilty afterwards.
Amy did wrote most of that by herself, and it's a real killer.
She did a great job, and it played hot. H-O-T, hot.
In Wasilla, we chill baby chilla, but in the bedroom, it's drill baby drilla, I believe. Some version of that.
Yeah.
Wow. The memory. Steel trap.
I mean, it's real good. But
were we recording when we talked that Yorm's not here this week? Or was that I mean, I know Seth said we were starting after that.
We should establish. You guys tell me, because I feel like I don't know why he's not here.
He's shooting a commercial.
Okay.
I saw that it's with Beck Bennett, because they sent me a photo. I don't know anything else.
Okay.
I mean, he's a sellout.
That's a reunion, because they did all those other commercials together.
Right. They did all the AT&T ones before Beck was on SNL. All the ones where he was with children talking about cell phone plans or something.
Yeah,
Yorm's,
right.
If he was here, he would talk about, he's very passionate about products. That's why he does the ads a lot.
Yeah. He said he can't make the pod, but they are gonna pause the commercial shoot so he can jump on and do the ad reads.
Yeah.
And I guess he's like yelled pretty hard at the actual, the commercial, the client, as they call him in the ad world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "You're going to tell me I can't go do my ads while I'm doing your ads?
Yeah.
I directed a MacGruber ad on the Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl, a 3-parter. They only aired one part. Yeah, so there you go. Yorm's not here, in case everybody's wondering, but he's not here. But I'm just going to say off the top, we're going to talk about Ras Trent today. Ras Trent, I have nothing but great things to say about, is in the body of one of the best shows I think we ever did in Ann Golden Era. It's really, I think it's a Mount Rushmore Ann Golden Era show.
Who is the host?
Hamm. First John Hamm.
Oh.
Yes.
First John Hamm. And it's kind of crazy because the show is so good, in no small part due to John Hamm. But then we have this lovely Ras Trent, which of course he's not in. And I think that adds a great deal as well.
Yeah, and Ras Trent played good.
Yeah.
And we were happy, but we also knew going into it that Ras Trent was like brimming with references that a normal SNL crowd might not immediately go crazy for.
Now is as good a time as ever to jump in and say, I love Ras Trent, and I rewatched it today and realized I'm still not even halfway there in the references.
A lot of the fun of it for us was just referencing reggae and dancehall songs we've loved throughout the years.
Yeah.
And doing it through the lens of so many people that we actually would come across growing up in the Bay Area and going to UC Santa Cruz for college for 2 years and going to the Reggae on the River Festival in Northern California and et cetera, et cetera. It was definitely like, this is a character in our lives and in our world. And it was our hope to sort of make this sort of the quintessential that guy song.
Yeah! Rastafarianism! Yes, Ras Trent. Ba-da-ding, ding, 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 whoa. Who damn? You know one test, me champion sound.
Was this on the pod already, Andy, that you told that there was a person that said like a very patois line to you? I feel like you already did it, right?
I think I talked about it in one of those SNL docs, but the story was me and my friends in high school, we went to Berkeley High School in the Bay. We're really into dancehall and reggae, as we've said a million times. But we went out to this city called Petaluma to see a show with this band, the Itals, who are, roots reggae, not household names in the States, but we were obsessed with them. And it was so cool that they were playing this tiny venue out in Petaluma. And we went all out there together, and it was incredible, and they sounded great. And after the show, it was in this like old movie theater, almost like old theater, and it had like stairs in the lobby that went up to the bathrooms. And me and all my friends were sitting in the stairwell. And this dude who had been at the show walked out dressed like he was like straight out of Office Space. You know what I mean? Like khakis tucked in, button up, and glasses. And he just walked up to us and clearly needed to get by. And he just went, "Excuse I." And we all were like, "Whoa, what?" And we were just like, "Oh, of course, yeah, man." Like, went to the side, and he walked up into the bathroom, and we were all just like, "Oh my God, I can't fucking believe he just said it." We were like, is he actually a Rasta? Or was he like thinking he was talking to us in a way we would understand? Because we were clearly just like young, scrubby white kids and not Rastafarians, you know what I mean? But I guess maybe some of my friends a little bit. We still to this day don't know the answer. It was a big mystery, but that quote became like a running joke with my friend group for the next like 20 years or whatever, where we'd see each other and go, "Excuse I," in the most like businessman voice you could come up with, basically.
I've got a few years on you guys, and I don't think the hyper specificity to Rastafarianism was anything I'd seen before, but we definitely had guys I was in college with who looked exactly like Ras Trent.
Yes.
So I enjoyed it on that level. But yes. I was always aware there was like a second and third level that was beyond my reference point.
So many white dudes we knew, and some of them we knew from like elementary school. You know what I mean? Growing up in Berkeley and then the Bay Area. And then like all of a sudden, and by the way, this was me for about a month and a half. All of a sudden,
big of you to admit that,
they have dreads. You know what I'm saying? And are like, I'm like, we're all smoking a little bit of weed, but like all of a sudden, and I never did this level, but there would be people that were just speaking in patois and like basically saying they were Rastafarian. And you're just like, what? Like our parents hang out. Like it's not, you can't do that. You can't just do that.
I want to say
mean,
a disclaimer that we are not experts on any of this either. Like we just were fans of the music. And so
Yes.
but we could just sense, like, it's not like we're masters, like know what it much about being Rastafari, but we know they're not. We know enough to know that.
So your hyperspecificity is not like a deep observation about Rastafarianism. Your only observation was about the dudes who were pretending to be Rastafarians.
Yes. Who were adopting it as their personality as like a quirk in high school and college.
While also saying they didn't know much because they probably knew about as much as us.
Right.
So we're also that they're adopting it as a personality trait, but also don't know even exactly what they're saying or adopting. Exactly.
But also like because it's connected to the music, for them it's like being like, now I'm goth. You know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, that's a religion though. Like that's really crazy. You shouldn't be doing that. There's a lot
that's
that
a
goes
perfect
into
way
that.
to put it. Being grunge
Yeah.
or being goth or being Rasta. That's how they're thinking of it, and it's not that.
Yes. And also just anytime a person like comes back after summer break and talks completely different, it's like a hilarious and sad thing.
And this is so much worse than an accent because it is a truly different way of talking.
Oh my God. Yeah. The first time your like white friend you know from elementary school is like, I and I, we're going to go. And you're just like, nope. No.
Because it's not even a foreign language. It's the language you know, just like in a different order.
And it's all just ripped from the records we like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we all love that music. It's so fucking dope. And there's a million great records. And it was like, we listened to hip hop, we listened to old soul and funk, we listened to reggae and dancehall, we listened to grunge, we listened to everything. And there was a stretch of time where like we really got deep into that and stayed into it. And it just stuck a little too sticky, I think, for a couple people.
I do think your idea is right, Keeve. We should do a rewatch together in pieces. But before we start it, Trent is really just the perfect name. Just shout out to the choice of Trent.
Thanks. I mean, it seemed like...
It's just going with that Eddie Murphy white guy voice.
Yeah, exactly.
This episode of the Lonely Island Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Maker's Mark. And I'm with some of my friends right now. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
You know, Margie Samuels was a spirited woman. She was also the co-founder of Maker's Mark. I don't have to tell you guys this stuff.
No.
No, we'd know it, but our listeners might not, so continue.
All right, well, in honor of Women's History Month, we wanted to toast some of the spirited women in our lives.
That was my idea, actually. These guys were thinking about not doing it, and I was like, we should.
Yeah, you are in many ways as trailblazing as Margie Samuels, Jorm, and I often said that.
Well, I kept saying, I want to mark this day with Maker's Mark. And you guys kept saying, what does that mean? I was like, it means a toast, guys.
Way to land the plane, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
I want to tell a story about a spirited woman I saw during the 50th. And I was a little bit lucky because I was there on Friday for some rehearsal action. And I got to watch the Close Encounters rehearsal with Kate McKinnon. And I feel it's the most I've ever watched an actor's process. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. You too can celebrate the spirit of women in your life with a free personalized label to go with a bottle of Maker's Mark. Head to makersmarkpersonalized.com and fill in the details in order to create and mail your custom label. Don't forget to grab a bottle of Maker's Mark to go with it.
Maker's Mark makes their bourbon carefully. Please enjoy it that way. Maker's Mark, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. 45% alcohol per volume. Copyright 2025 Maker's Mark Distillery, Incorporated, Loretto, Kentucky.
Support comes from Ridge.
Hey, thanks for saying that, Jorm. You guys, the wallet I had before Ridge was no good at all. I turned into my father. I had that big, fat, leather brick of a wallet. It was falling apart. Every time I sat, I felt like I was on a hill.
Yeah, you can get imbalanced doing that. That's bad news.
Yeah, your back can get all out of whack. But now my Ridge, its unique, slim, modern design, holds up to 12 cards plus cash. So here's the thing. There are over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. All Ridge products have a lifetime warranty. This is literally the last wallet you'll ever have to buy. Here's some peace of mind. All Ridge wallets have RFID blocking technology, keeping you safe from digital pickpocketers. Also, you guys, I've lost my wallet a bunch. Ridge has an AirTag attachment. I always know where my wallet is before panic mode kicks in. And before I have to do my most embarrassing thing, which is ask my wife and children if they've seen it.
Well, I know this is going to be surprising to you guys, but I lose my wallet all the time, so I'm going to get that.
No matter what you pick, Ridge has a free shipping, a 99-day risk-free trial, and a lifetime warranty on all their products. Right now, Ridge is having their once-a-year anniversary sale. Get up to 40% off at ridge.com/island. Just head to ridge.com/island to see their biggest sale of the year. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. All right, so can you do it, Keith? Can you share?
Yeah, let me share.
Rastafarianism. Yes, I.
Okay.
I mean, right away, what was that college we went to? We went to a real college, and those are real students who were sitting in a real college. One of our interns maybe went there, or maybe somebody's niece went there.
Yeah,
and
it
was just like,
someone connected to the crew.
Yeah, and we just went into a real college class and shot with real college
It is very
students.
nice over the course of this, how many, I mean, obviously there's some cast in it, but I really did like how it was college students.
Yeah, it had to be. We had to be on the quad.
Yeah. And it's great.
Rastafarianism.
Yes.
Immediately off the bat, he's on the wrong foot.
He's betraying the entire thing right out of the gate by saying it
For
wrong.
those that don't know it, it's usually Ja Rastafari is in the normal song that wants to say it in it, like a Capleton song. That's one of the artists or whatever.
Bob Marley, even like
Or
any
Bob
live
Marley.
concert you ever heard of any like Rasta reggae artist.
So your first joke is really just for like 9 people you know.
And the entire country of Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay, so that's fair.
And a lot of people in London.
You are making a joke that you can have zero confidence is going to play with the SNL house.
Yes. This is kind of like Natalie rap, right? Where we have so many nice deep cut rap references, but for your lay viewer, they can just go, ha ha ha, it's that girl who's in Star Wars, but now she's doing a hardcore rap. And this has the basic joke that I think everyone got, which is the stuff we just discussed about cultural appropriation when you don't really understand what you're appropriating, and about that guy who's, looks like Ras Trent in your college. And then there's just other things happening underneath it that are for just us and Rihanna. All right.
Yeah. Did Rihanna ever bring this up to you guys?
We played it for her when we were making
All
Shairani.
right, so she had not.
Wait, had
heard
she
it yet.
seen it?
I think it was when she came back to do the second Shairani, she said that she had friends that had a rhythm shop in Manhattan somewhere and that they loved Ras Trent and that she had watched it with them or something.
Oh, that might be. That's why I'm remembering it not being right away.
By the way, could you ask for a better way for it to come across her radar?
She said what they wanted to do, and it never came about, but I was so fucking hyped to do it, was to have Ras Trent be like the dude who's yelling out over like a mixtape throughout the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yes, I.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Rihanna.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Bum, bum, bum.
New Sizzler!
Yeah. Oh, over a real mixtape. Over a mixtape
Yes,
of real
that's
shit.
what they wanted to put together a real
That's
one
way funnier.
with actually cool songs, but have me be like, the like Funkmaster Flex or whatever.
Yeah, doing that. That's really funny. I wish they had asked you to do that.
Yes.
All righty, so let's keep going here with the established.
All right, we got roller skates. He says roller skates later, but right away, roller skates are a reference to a really famous Steel Pulse song called Roller Skates.
Yep. I love roller skates.
That's why he's on roller skates.
Yes.
Ras Trent. Ba-da-ding, ding, 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 whoa.
So, bada ding, 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 whoa, is Barrington Levy.
Yeah.
And he does it in lots of songs, but most famously to us, at least, and I would assume to everybody, is a song called Here I Come.
Here I come, yeah.
Now, I will say that is a perfect example on the Natalie's rap parallel, which is Bada Ding Ding Whoa is just very funny coming out of Andy's mouth, even if you don't know that that's an actual famous moment.
Yes, it works for both things.
Yes.
Barrington himself would certainly agree. Okay. It's kind of funny when he does it. It's awesome. It's basically...
What are you holding, Andy, at this point in the song? What is that?
It's just like a
staff?
yeah, like a walking staff.
Okay, great.
That's standard Ross.
I'm
Ross
sure there's
culture
a
stuff.
name for it in Patois that we don't know.
Ding, ding, whoa. Who damn? You
All right, do you want to talk about that background vocals there, Andy?
Background vocals, we got Casey Wilson and Wig doing the background vocals, but the actual recording is Maya Rudolph and my wife, Joanna Newsom.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
So we were obviously all living together in the valley, and Maya would come hang out a bunch because her and Paul were close by, and Joanna was there.
It was one of the most fun recording sessions, I would say, because we had done like fake ones, and they came in and had to kind of like stay on the rhythm and feel the vibes and do it for reals.
Did you say who dem here?
Who damn?
So wait,
Yeah.
so Joanna and Maya were the I3, but they were an I2.
They were the I2.
And they
Yes.
they obviously made it sound a lot better than what we had and wrote their own harmonies and sounded fantastic. Like if you isolate those tracks, they actually sounded fucking fantastic.
And were they having so much fun doing it together?
Yes,
Great.
absolutely. They're buds. So yes, Who Dem is Capleton, who's a dancehall artist.
Oh, wait. So when Andy has this idea and we're like, how are we ever going to get an authentic sounding reggae
Oh my God, yes.
music? And we're very fresh to this thing that we're on a label. So we went, hey, Universal Music Group, which Republic is under, also owns Def Jam, and they also own Island, which is the Jamaican music label. And so we just asked, do you guys have any? And they sent over, at that time it was still CDs, a CD of unused Sly and Robbie tracks.
Yes.
Sly and Robbie is one of the most famous reggae production musician duos of all time.
Like full tilt legends.
It's like if you were just dabbling in, I'm going to make a fake rap song. And they're like, well, here's a bunch of beats by Dr. Dre. Do you want to use one of these?
Yes.
It was the craziest thing. We could not believe it. It wasn't like we had gotten a bunch of other ones either.
We were like, what? We
The
thought
fact
it
that
was
Sly and Robbie made Ras Trent is so funny if you know who Sly and Robbie is.
And you knew right away, and was it exactly what you wanted it to be the first time you put the CD in and listened?
Every track was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think we immediately started vibing to the one that it was.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll say is we added horns, Keeve. Do you remember?
Yeah. You hummed them.
I hummed the horn part.
Yeah, you went bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
bam.
It's basically the Spider-Man theme song.
Yeah, that's right.
But I wrote it.
Yeah.
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 Okay, we're 16 seconds in, going great. Ready?
Who damn? You know one test, me champion sound.
Oh yeah.
God, that is something. But who is that by?
The Champion Sound. Well, there's Super Beagle, but
Right.
I knew Champion Sound of Super Beagle first because it was on a Smith & Wesson song called Soundboy Burial, which was one of my favorite rap songs in high school.
Right, it was sampled on that.
I'm already so heartbroken how much more you guys know about rap music than me. And this is just, everything about this so far has been just heartbreaking because part of what I've, the bargaining I've made in my own head is, well, of course they know more about rap than you, Seth. It's all they listen to.
It was high school, and we would just listen all the time when we'd be rolling around when you had nothing else to do. We didn't have smartphones, you remember.
This is also what we filled our brain with while you were learning about politics and history and stuff.
Yeah, well, guess what? I made the wrong choice.
I think it's worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Guys, Yorm's calling me. Should I loop him in?
Is he going to be like, come to dinner?
All right, caller, you're on live. This is the Lonely Island
There's
Seth
no
Meyers
way.
podcast.
Oh shit! Fucking hell! Hi. I just was.
He forgot. I knew he forgot.
I forgot that we were.
He forgot. What a piece of shit.
It actually timed out good. You said I forgot, and they yelled, he forgot! It was like you could hear him.
Oh, it's even better that he can't hear me. Slandering.
Well, I just rapped, but I don't have my recording equipment. Are you at the house?
Yeah, I'm at home, and we're right in the middle of it. But
Okay.
all right, we're gonna get back to it. But
Great.
Okay. Goodbye.
all right, see ya.
Oh my God. If Yorm's life was a movie, he'd be like, I pulled off the heist, got away with the murder. It was the perfect crime. Now I'm going to walk to the police station and confess.
I mean, the fact that he called and then it couldn't roll with it. Keith said, "You're calling into the podcast." He's like, I forgot.
He could have pretended like, oh, I'm busy, but I'm calling in to contribute.
Yeah, like that was a perfect time to adjust and say, "Hey guys, I'm so proud of you for doing it. Love you." No, he is too honest. He is too honest.
He's too honest / forgot.
All right, here we go. Back to Ross.
Oh, fire upon Babylon.
Fire Upon Babylon is something that is said a lot. I think that's Capleton again. I was listening to a lot of Capleton at this time.
Babylon, I mean, I don't have the right, I'm going to say it wrong, but it's like basically the Western system of capitalism and everything, right?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm skipping steps.
No, but that's fine. And so they don't, Rastafarian, they don't like that, the capitalism stuff.
They don't like Babylon.
They don't like Babylon. So they might say fire upon it. Okay, here we go.
Rude boy living in the shanty dorms. My roommate Nick.
I mean, rude boy, how would you describe a rude boy? And once again, we are not experts, but rude boy is like gangster kids, like in the
Living
streets,
in the
right?
shanty dorms sucks so hard.
So he's
Yeah,
making his
So-
own like
it's so fucking disrespectful.
he's
and
making his
rude.
like struggle story instead of being in like in the slums of Kingston.
Yes.
He's this rude boy who lives in these shanty dorms.
And it
Yes,
looks like
yes.
a pretty normie dorm.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
not-
it looks
not
pretty
that bad
nice,
a dorm.
honestly. Yeah, it's a nice dorm.
Yeah.
My roommate Nick is an ignorant bald head.
So that's Rachel
So what's
Lynn's.
Baldhead?
Bald head is like a way of describing like a devil, white devil, basically,
Okay, gotcha.
is how I would describe it.
It's clearly just a nice guy doing his homework.
Yeah. And yes, this is Rachel Lynn who helped us with all our videos, brother Joe.
He might have really been the college student still and been the one that got us into
Oh,
everywhere.
this might have been his actual dorm room.
Yeah, and then he went on to work in the accounting department at SNL and still does.
Still there.
Wow.
Shout out Joe. We love Joe.
So there he is.
And we love Rach. Saw her at the 50th.
So he's an ignorant bald
An
head.
ignorant bald head. Chant down Babylon midterm essays. Then puff from the chalice IP make from a Sprite
Yeah.
can.
Okay. I mean, Chant Down Babylon is a Bob Marley song. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Great song. We all made a pipe out of a soda can.
Yep. Sprite can. Nice choice.
Yeah. Just mixing college stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he calls it a chalice because
Yeah.
that's just what they would do. All right, here
Still makes me laugh, guys.
he's admitting that it was just last week this transformation happened.
Week I read a book about Selassie. Then told my bomba clot parents I was switching religion.
Bumbleclot's like one of the, and as far as I understand it, is one of the, it means period blood, and it's like motherfucker. It's one of the more offensive words you can say. And they did not make us censor that.
Didn't flag that one.
Yeah. Seemed pretty psyched when you were telling your parents. Definitely
Yep.
did not seem to understand how bad that word was.
Yeah, and we're loving these. We're loving casting on these parents.
Yep, this background.
Also, I was loving when you were reading the book a week ago, Andy. You're reading by the docks. It seems, or you're on like a pier.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a mother. It's kind of a dick in a box location. Yeah.
But you have a moment where you sort of hit the book with the back of your hand, as if everything
It
just
clicked.
made sense. to
Everything
you.
finally makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
You're a real.
There's
a kid.
Yes. So here's
Okay, 50
Excuse
seconds in, we get your catchphrase. Excuse I.
Excuse I.
Yeah.
Which I also had by the way, I mean, I auditioned for SNL and did Ras Trent in the audition.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And it was a totally different version of it because it wasn't a song. It was like the way that you would have done it if it was a character in like the late 90s where it had a jingle and he was a guy who worked at an office and said, "Excuse I." And it was these exact same jokes, but just with way less energy and a lot more space in between them.
Oh, hot stepper, you do so many dirty.
Oh, Hot Stepper. That's one of the songs that crossed over. Aini Kamosi.
Yeah, Andy Kamosi.
Here comes the Hot Stepper. That got American radio play. You would recognize it. Do you know what we're talking about, Seth, or no?
No.
You would, if we were fast enough to edit this where we played it right now for you, you would go, "Oh, I've heard that at like nightclubs."
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
But do you guys remember like
Nothing.
Tom Harkin? He ran for president from Iowa.
Yeah, the hot stepper. That was whenever he came out at the conventions, it played
Tom
it.
the hot stepper.
Here
Harkin.
comes the hot stepper. Murderer. Here I am, Tom Harkin.
Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Many dirty crimes.
Okay. Ooh, hot stepper, you do so many dirty crimes. Dirty is just dirty.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Also, I like you're doing a little just juggling a soccer ball. It's very
Yeah,
nice.
that's some Bob Marley. Everyone had the
That's-
Bob Marley playing soccer poster in college.
yeah, featured prominently in the film.
Yes, I appreciated that.
Now, in my mind, Nyabingi is a type of drum, but I think it also is a sect of the religion, and I don't really know.
I think that's right. I knew there was a time I knew this a lot more. But,
Yeah, you're asking us 20 years after we did that? Or how many years? So not 20. 18? 16?
A lot.
All right, here we go.
Larking all the time.
And you're fully skylarking all the time. Andy, skylarking? I'm trying to remember a good way to put what skylarking means.
Skylarking is from a song, isn't it?
Yeah.
From multiple songs.
And the visual now is you're just smelling your dreadlocks, and even you are having a hard time with the odor.
Yes, that's a moment of him like getting his dreads right and then realizing he's making his head smell bad.
Real dreads do not have a bad odor. You would have to be very dirty, and it's like almost a stereotype that they're dirty dreads. Like it could be offensive. So I want to clarify that we do not think dreads are dirty or smell. His do. Ras Trent's do, because he's
Yeah.
doing it wrong. He's dirty.
Yeah, it's white boy dreads traditionally are not well kept and are funky.
Yeah. Or I don't even want to make any generalizations. I'll just say
I'm
Ras
sure
Trent's.
I'm sure there are white men out there who have nice dreads. I'm sure that exists.
But Ras Trent's.
But wait, so skylarking, obviously, I can't believe I forgot this. It's Horace Andy, my main man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your
Has a
namesake.
song called Skylarking, but the phrase Skylarking is used in many, many songs.
all the time. Oona look ya now.
Una Look Ya Now is more Capleton. He has a song called Jaja City, which is one of my favorite dancehall songs ever.
All right, we've got your horns coming to life here that you hummed. And I
Yes.
mean, we see Simon Rich in the center. His show is on Broadway right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other two guys, I'm sad to say I don't remember their names, but they all both were behind the scenes SNL, like tech guys and, crew guys.
Have you ever
They were all just cast by their collegiate look.
And I love the look that like Ras Trent's horn section is the guys who are just like band guys.
It actually looks small on my screen and I can't see their faces. Kevin, can you help us out?
Matt Finkelstein worked in talent, still has a big job at NBC.
Oh, yeah. Finkelstein.
Now, we got a very important cameo coming up.
Okay.
bald head suck?
Yeah, bald head suck. Now you're playing 3 extras like bongos,
Miller.
and then Kevin Miller.
Kevin, do you want to?
Holding
Are
the
you on?
duck.
Do you want to just
Yeah.
come in and talk about this experience of holding a duck?
It was wonderful. I remember getting wardrobe and being, on for not even a second. But you guys were looking for bald heads, and
Yeah, you're the
I
number.
think
You
I
are
was,
the top 4.
one of the top 4.
And you had your own duck. That helped.
I did, yes.
Now,
They brought it to work
again,
with me that day.
this is Ras Trent taking the phrase crazy bald head literally. There's a song by Bob Marley called Crazy Bald Head. We're going to chase those crazy bald heads out of town.
He's also the first one that's ever noticed, because he's like, "Have you ever noticed that bald heads suck?" This is an observation I
Shared
just made.
experience? His only,
No.
he has
Yeah.
no reason to dislike bald heads other than he keeps hearing it.
Yeah, he's just trying to separate himself because, God forbid, someone thinks he's a bald head. All right.
But that would be like a self-deprecating joke we would do. like in high
Me
school.
and my
I
bald heads
head,
are
I
going to go
bald
get
head.
some malt liquor and drink it.
Oh, don't mind me. Just, yeah. A bunch of bald heads coming through. Don't mind us.
Well, Babylon
Yes.
is what pays my bills, so I'll keep enjoying the tunes, fellas.
So there's 2 of my favorite shots are coming up here. One, you guys walk up to what just looks like a giant bong coming out of the street. I don't even know to this day. You still see it in New York what it is.
Yeah, what's the purpose of that?
It's like a thing you put over a manhole cover, I guess, when the earth is leaking.
If
But
you know
it's
there's
just
going to be like, an exorbitant amount of steam.
Yeah, so it's just not to have the steam pouring out, I guess.
It's from the
directly on
subway?
street. Yeah, it's from the subway, but it's a giant orange cone that Ras Trent goes over, and it looks like he takes a bong hit off it.
Excuse I for my skanking.
So amazing
That you just got lucky. You guys saw it.
and we're like, it's a giant bong in the middle of New York Street. Go over and smoke it. And it just is incredible.
How did I blow out smoke? It was just so cold.
No, you lit something. Look,
Excuse I for my skanking. You fix and praise.
you definitely you smoked something.
Oh. Well, anyway, we were walking down the street and saw it. I think we were driving past and you were like, stop
the fucking car.
And then the next time we see Ras Trent, he is behind the counter of a Cold Stone Creamery, an actual Cold Stone Creamery, which is a wonderful place to find out he's toiling part-time.
Dude, this is back when we were so low rent. You could walk into a Cold Stone Creamery and be like, hey, can I get behind the counter for a
God,
sec?
it is a real Cold Stone.
Yeah,
Wait,
and they're
you
just
really? This was not prearranged? You just got behind the Cold Stone Creamery like that?
I don't know if anyone called ahead, but we definitely just
If
walked
it was,
in.
it was like Nick Millardi or Dina just calling and being like, hey, can we come by today? It was like, they would have had no warning. Maybe it was prearranged. And he was like, oh yeah, the one on this one said we can go back there. Maybe it was. We'd have to ask them. Let's ask them for a voice note.
That's like when people are like, before 9/11, you could just walk on a plane. Like, that's how this feels now. The idea that you could just walk into a Cold Stone Creamery and shoot something for us.
You know what? Let's make sure Dina listens and she'll have the receipts on that.
Yeah, great.
But this is maybe my favorite line in the song.
Yeah. You toil.
Me toil part-time at Ja Cold Stone Creamery.
just combining the most mundane.
Every single part of it is wrong.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
Dub is like a instrumental style of reggae. Again, I somebody that listens to this is going to know more about reggae and correct us. But I know when you buy like a dub plate, like essentially a lot of times the people that make rhythms, which are their beats, will actually let many different reggae artists do a song on the same rhythm. So you might hear 10 different songs that all have the exact same music, and then one might become a hit. But you could do a whole DJ set for 30 minutes where the music never changes, just different artists come on and do their song on top of it. And then dub style is basically those, like instrumentals, and you can buy whole albums that you've liked, and now it's in dub style, and sometimes they will put in very quietly the lyrics that used to be there, or just like the ad-lib hypes. So you might be listening to a song you've known, and then every 4 bars it just goes like wah wah wah, like an echo of the last syllable. And then there's people that just made whole albums of just vibe albums that were like King Tubby was probably the most famous one to us, at least, where you would just buy whole albums and it's just the music with very little lyrics.
I feel like Lee Scratch Perry did a lot of dub.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like real stony stuff where it's a lot of like wah, 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 echo on everything. And
Roller skates again.
A DVD of Cool Runnings.
now, a DVD of Cool Runnings is one of 2 things that Jost pitched.
Great.
And here's what happened. We wrote the song in the summer when we were making our album. And then we started putting it together to do the video at SNL. And we ourselves said, this could use a few more SNL audience-friendly jokes. And maybe even took it to the table, or maybe just played it for Jost and a few people, and they pitched us a few ideas. One of the things he pitched us was a DVD of Cool Runnings, which we were like, yes, perfect. Something that everyone watching will know what it is. And it's also incredibly off base, so it fits the character.
Did we have a different joke there? We must have had something there.
We did. I don't remember what it was, though. And then we'll talk about Murder, She Wrote in a second. But the other one is the biggest laugh in the audience by far, which is when Ras Trent walks past the Real Dreads and lowers his voice for Bike Path of Righteousness. And that was the other thing Jost pitched. And I remember after it aired, going up to him and being like, thank you. That was such a great pitch. And him going, oh, yeah.
It's like the linchpin of the entire video. It's the moment the whole point of the whole thing comes across to everybody.
Yeah.
Which is even Ras Trent is incredibly obtuse, but even he knows not to be full Rasta in front of those dudes.
Yes.
He knows
He's
he's
just walking down the
poser
street.
somewhere.
Yeah,
and so
he's fronting
obviously,
hard.
when you recorded it in the summer, you didn't have a moment. It would have made no sense to have you just mumble.
No, the song on Monday of this week it was loud. Right bike path of righteousness.
Yeah. Please guide me upon your bike path of righteousness. And then I think it still is that on the album, right? Or no, did we go with the lower version?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I know we debated that.
And what is it? It's just like 4 or 5 actual
Yeah, here, well, let's get to them real quick. But so
Murder, She Wrote.
Shaka Demus and Pliers have a
of
very
course.
famous song called Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know that one, Seth.
You would know
I
it.
do
Bang,
know.
bang,
That's-
bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
You actually do. Yeah. There's a bunch of these dancehall ones that you have heard in your nightclub days where we do a dancehall set.
So Seth, I was going to say, will you sing Murder, She Wrote real quick?
I do feel like I remember it, but I don't feel like I'll be able to sing it. I do remember Jessica was on like a bike. I feel like it was instrumental, and she was going through a little New England town where all the murders happened.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about the theme song to Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah. I like that you said Jessica. That's right.
Murder, She Wrote. How did it go?
That's close.
Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, yeah,
Murder,
that's it.
She Wrote.
No, I wasn't. That's it. I do remember that song.
Yeah.
Support comes from Nutrafol. Hey, gentlemen.
Hi.
You know what? There's nothing this year, 2025. There's nothing holding you back from loving your hair again. And you guys got some good hair.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
Yeah. And hair is so much more than what you see on the surface. It's a reflection of what's happening inside. Let Nutrafol target the key root causes of your thinning hair and help you grow stronger, healthier strands from within. You always tell me to look within when I'm trying to find my inner strength.
Look within, Seth, to your inner strength.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. You can see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Is it complicated or is it simple?
Oh my God. Thank you so much for asking that question, Keeve. Building a hair growth routine is simple. You purchase online, no prescription required, automated deliveries, free shipping, keep you on track. That's free shipping, Andy, not free shitting. Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code ISLAND. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code ISLAND. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code ISLAND. Support comes from Thrive Market. Hey, gentlemen, our kids eat healthy. Sometimes you need a hand finding the healthier options. You don't want to have to do all that research yourself. That's why I love Thrive Market. My whole family loves Thrive Market. It's our go-to online grocery store for getting all of our healthy essentials delivered. I don't even have to leave my couch. I don't know about you guys. I want to be able to pronounce the ingredients on my kids' snack labels because the reason is they're going to ask me to read it. And I don't want to look like a dope of a father who doesn't know how to say those additives. That's why I love Thrive Market, the no-junk online grocery store that bans over 1,000 harmful ingredients. Do you have any questions for me, Keeve, about this one?
Last time we talked about Thrive Market, you talked about that you like eating meat sticks. Tell me more.
Oh, so they have all different meats from different animals. Beef sticks and also venison. I was recently eating a venison stick and I'm feeling like a real fancy gentleman, like I've just gotten back from the hunt.
What part of the deer is the stick?
Oh, that's a good question. I think they take the best part of the deer and then they get that into the stick shape.
Excellent.
But again, here's the thing. We don't have to answer those questions because Thrive Market is answering it for us. And who doesn't want to shop with a mission-driven brand like Thrive Market? They seek out the highest quality brands that follow ethical practices and strict quality standards. They also accept SNAP, EBT, and offer free memberships for low-income families through their Thrive Gives program. So if you're ready to make the switch, go to thrivemarket.com/island for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's Thrive, THRIVE, market.com/island, thrivemarket.com/island.
All right, hit and play.
Yaga, 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 yow.
Yaga, 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 yow.
Yeah, who is Yaga 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 Yaga? Is that Anthony B? I think that might be Anthony B.
Yeah, it's dancehall for sure.
It could be Beanie Man, but I think it's Anthony B. Again, our listeners will clearly put it all, correct me, and let me know.
Are you there, John? It's me, Ras Trent.
Yeah, it's Anthony B.
Are you there, John? It's me, Ras.
We got that whole class to say, "Are you there, Ja? It's me, Ras Trent."
They were great.
It was definitely Rachel's brother's class. I can't believe.
I don't know where they all are now, but thank you. It
Yeah.
was perfect.
And of course, that's
They're really
to the
good.
famous reggae book. Are you there,
By
God?
Judy
It's me,
Blume.
Margaret, by Judy Blume.
But again, that is something Ras Trent would have in his wheelhouse. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he
Like,
definitely knows that book.
that's a reference for him.
Hoping his boobs come in, you know?
There were about 5 seconds where we debated calling the song "Are You There, Ja? It's me, Ras Trent," and then we were like, "What are you talking about? It's way too long." Oh, new location for our horn section.
Yeah, we went to the real library and played and fake played the horns. I wonder what college this was. It's somewhere in
It's
Manhattan.
very fun to see these three.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say with love, these three nerds rocking it out.
Well, leaning into being nerdy.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Ja, it's me, Ras Trent. Please guide me upon your right path of righteousness.
All right. So we just watched, him walking past 6 real Jamaican Rastafaris and Nick Millardi, who worked with Dina and would help out on the shorts. When we were like, hey, how can we find people that are not background actors who then we dress up and it's going to look like a fake SNL version? How do we? And he was like, oh, no problem. And I forget if he lived in the Bronx or Brooklyn. He's like, there's a store right by me and there's always a bunch of them hanging out. I go there sometimes. I forget what he said he bought there. He knew exactly where to go and he went there. I don't know what conversation they had, but he immediately had 6 real Rastas who were super nice. And we told them what the bit was. And they're like, yeah, but they had the thickest, I'm not even going to pretend to be able to do it, the thickest true Jamaican accents and were super down for it and thought it was funny and did it perfect.
Yes. I remember them being like, yeah, we're cool. It's funny. But then after we did the first take of it, them really laughing because they like fully understood that they were like, we know this guy.
Yeah. It was a little bit nerve-wracking and embarrassing on our end because it was happening in real life. And here they are. And we're like, we're going to be walking by and playing this reggae song and he's going to do this. And there's...
No, they were great.
Yeah, and they were wonderful. And it was, props to Nick.
Stand ahoy, stand ahoy, stand ahoy, stand ahoy, Ja.
Stan Ahoy.
Stan Ahoy, I think, is Michael Rose from Black Uhuru.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I can't remember at this time exactly, but that's my memory of it.
Oh, fuck. Because I also almost picture Barrington Levy doing it in Black Roses. But no.
Quick thing, in the most played section of the song, it is on YouTube. It is definitely you walking by the real
Ross.
the real McCoys.
The real Ross dudes.
And this is from Kevin Miller. I texted Dina, and she said Joe Lynn got permission to shoot in his classroom and in his dorm room, Fordham University.
There you
At
go,
Fordham.
Joe.
It was
And shout out
Fordham.
to Joe.
Yeah.
And you
thanks,
guys
Joe.
just rolled up to on Cold Stone in Times Square and asked if you could shoot, and that you guys were real cowboys.
There we go. It's
Yeah.
a important line in the song, but I guess we had our backup plan, which is that you would just stand on the street and they can't stop us on the sidewalk, and you were just going to point to the
Yeah,
sign.
it was going to be a Magnolia Sitch.
It was going to work no matter what. But the fact that we got to just go behind because there was a bunch of teenagers working there, they're like, sure. Then
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Times. The Times Square Cold Stone does not have the head of corporate on site.
I wonder if we got a shot of me outside of Cold Stone first, Keeve, and then
probably in
asked
case
as
we
our
got
backup.
the boot.
Yeah.
And fighting and Zion and Roots. Red Stripe.
Red Stripe is, of course, Jamaican beer. Just doing another Cool Runnings, basically.
Mm-hmm. And Fussing and Fighting is a song.
Shabba Ranks. He's just a famous artist. Now you're on the Judy Blume book. It's a nice, made it a visual callback to a joke from a little while ago.
And so this line is 2 songs.
Yeah.
We're just smushing them all together at the end here. All stuff we love. Night Nurse is a song by Gregory Isaacs that we love. Plant the Corn is a Anthony B song. I think, is it called Plant the Corn or is it called Raid the Barn? But nobody want to plant the corn, everybody want to raid the barn. And that's a fucking great song.
It's a great song. No one wants to do the work, but they all want to eat the food, you know? Yours kind of makes it sexual that your night nurse never wants to plant the corn.
It's just he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just quoting stuff, which is also admittedly what we were kind of doing.
Skiddly Woe back to Barrington Levy.
Yeah. Yeah, Skiddly Woe is Barrington Levy. I mean, there's a hint of Ika Mouse throughout the song, but no like overt reference in that same way. But if you thought Ika Mouse, you're not off.
I think there was some Yellow Man like Zunga 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 Zang that we were debating all the time and just couldn't find a place to put it in.
Yeah.
Like all the people that did good scatty nonsense stuff.
So there you have it.
All right, that was it. I think we've been waiting however many years it's been to tell people what was actually in it. I'm sure on rapgenius.com or whatever, I'm sure they have some of that.
Yes.
It is a very ship in a bottle construction. It's a very funny idea. It's very nice of you to share with us all. It is a real credit to your knowledge of the genre. I know you love when I say stuff like that.
It makes us so happy.
Yorma just came here. If he comes in
your
here,
house?
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi, bud.
What's up, Yorm?
Well, that was an abrupt ending. Hi, everybody. This is Seth, and what I'm doing right now is called a post-record, where days after I return to the podcast studio to leave some final thoughts. We got a little off the rails at the end of this episode. Basically, what happened is Yorm realized he had missed the podcast and then drove over to Akiva's house. He then came into Akiva's house, and Andy and I, needless to say, were relentlessly busting on him for that choice, but he couldn't hear us because he didn't have headphones in. So Akiva would have to hear our burns and then repeat them to Yorma. The reality is it was a lot of fun. It was happening, but it did not make for a very good podcast. It was an abrupt end. So I'm here to tell you that, yes, we did not get to any of the John Hamm episode, which is an golden episode from that era. So we're going to talk about that in our next episode. It's going to be a standalone episode about everything else in that marvelous 90 minutes of television. We did not discuss if Ras Trent was a Criterion episode. We'll get to that as well. But you know what? Sound off in the comments. Why not do that as well? Thank you, everybody. We love you too. See you soon. Next week, why not?